that a confirmed tornado had touched down.
Yes, indeed. And we watched it make its way from the mid-Cape to the outer Cape, and now we're seeing the last of the rain getting ready to shift offshore. It is 12:33 on Tuesday afternoon, and we are waiting for this tornado warning to now expire, but starting to see more and more damage reports on social media. So when it is safe to do so, like in South Yarmouth, where that tornado was confirmed, and you're going out and you're surveying some of the damage, please send us the pictures. We're seeing a lot of pictures on social media of damage to buildings and a lot of trees down. We would love to be able to share those pictures with you. This is video from the Barnstable area. Clearly, it was during the storm. You can see the wind blowing things around out that way, and a lot of heavy rain as well. And in many communities, we've had, several rounds of rain in the past 24 to 36 hours, and the rain itself doing quite a bit of damage. But the worst of that, as you can see clearly right now, is making its way offshore. Still some lingering lightning strikes here, even on the back edge. And what you were hearing Doug's brother say is that he was on the north side of where the rotation was, and the wind was really intense. I mean, we did measure winds as high as 90 miles per hour doing some of the damage from these storms. So we're talking about really intense winds as well. So it seems as though as we watch this rotation push offshore, we officially got confirmation now that this tornado warning has been canceled. It is expired at this point as the threat for a tornado has passed. So some good news there. We have been on the air since the threat of a tornado approached, and we went on with the warning, and now that threat is over. And we are happy to say that the severe weather threat at this point has passed. Erica?
All right, Cindy, thanks so much for that update. Again, what we were hoping to hear now that that tornado warning has expired. Again, this has been just an incredible late morning now into the afternoon. We've been on the air again since the tornado warning went into effect, and it was not allowed to expire. It lasted basically the whole length of Cape Cod. And we do know again that we had a confirmed tornado touchdown in South Yarmouth. And now the concern is the damage that was left in the wake of this severe storm. So at this point, we know that thousands, potentially more than 10,000 people are without power on Cape Cod. Still heavy rain just on the outer Cape, Eastham, Wellfleet, Truro, that area. But you can see the severe weather has now moved offshore. We know there have already been reports of damage, trees down, wires down. This was a fast-moving storm. Cindy at one point saying it was moving about 35 miles per hour. This is a look now in Barnstable. The rain just teeming at times. It went from about a rate of 2 inches per hour up to 4 inches per hour. This was ground already saturated. Of course, there was a tornado warning last night in basically the same area, and a number of trees down in areas of Harwich and that part of the southern coast of the Cape. We now have a representative from the Harwich Police Department with us, and Yarmouth Police Department, forgive me. And again, right in that area, South Yarmouth, West Dennis, that's where we know the tornado touched down. So Frank Fredrickson, thanks for checking in with us. What have you seen there in Yarmouth? I think Chief Fredrickson, are you with us? I think we lost him. But again, Yarmouth, this is video of South Yarmouth, so the area where the tornado was confirmed. And now we're just trying to get an indication of what damage was done in this area that saw all of that significant wind and rain. The winds, according to the radar, up to nearly 90 miles per hour at one point, and confirmed to be 60, 70 miles per hour along that whole swath of Cape Cod. Of course, the Cape is the place to be this time of year. It's late July. It's been hot. People flocking to the beaches there. And this all really began over Martha's Vineyard. And just there, that's where there was a gust of 79 miles per hour measured. So we know this has been a very difficult morning. We spoke to a number of people who did what they were alerted to do. They went inside to the lowest part of the home or shelter that they had and really hunkered down. So we were already on Cape Cod, spoke to Sarah Kanji, where in Harwich they were dealing with really a massive cleanup. We know areas of 28 at this point are impassable because of the number of trees down. And so this is what we're now going to deal with, a significant cleanup and a huge power restoration effort on Cape Cod at a time when they have just so many visitors. So I want to check in with Storm Team 5 and see just how rare it is to have this. When we got that confirmed tornado, this is something confirmed at the time on the ground that is very rare to hear. Often we hear the next day that the National Weather Service has been on the ground, they confirm then a tornado. But to hear in real time a tornado has touched down, how rare is that, Cindy?
It's pretty rare. It's something that we have yet to see this summer until today, and the fact that there could be perhaps more than one confirmed tornado sighting, that it was on the ground in South Yarmouth, and there's a lot of damage around the West Dennis area. Excuse me, I'm battling a cold. And also in the Mashpee area. So a lot of damage. The National Weather Service may indeed head out there to get a closer look at the damage and survey it a little bit more. And the farther we get in time from the storm and we get a chance to survey the damage, we'll have, a clearer picture as to what exactly occurred here this morning and into the midday hours. But as we watch this cell with rotation approach from Long Island for many hours, since about 8, 9 o'clock this morning, we have been watching this. We knew it was the potential to make its way onto Cape Cod. And, what is truly rare is if a tornado did indeed touch down and you had, a warning time. A 5-minute warning time for a tornado before it touches down is considered a lot, even in today's standards of meteorology and weather forecasting. So this is a situation that, did indeed occur and that we had this morning. Unfortunately, the warning hopefully, saved a lot of people's lives and hopefully kept people out of harm's way. But it indeed appears there is quite a bit of damage across Cape Cod, especially the mid-Cape, from the storms that we are seeing. We also just got a report that as this storm was in the Chatham area, we did measure a wind gust to 85 miles per hour. So that is pretty intense and likely doing a lot of damage in the Chatham area where the rain has just let up. You can see the rain is now finally shifting offshore. So we're drying things out here the rest of the afternoon.
Cindy?
And fortunately, the severe weather threat has passed.
Cindy, our intern Matt and I were just looking at a website here that does have some tornado history attached to it. And according to Tornado History Project, there have been 2 tornadoes reported on the Cape. Let's see, the one in 1968 and another one in 1977. Of course, we did have some spin-ups, as I recall, last year.
Right.
But those are the ones that come up, at least in this database here. So this isn't necessarily a typical summertime event, but it's certainly not unheard of.
No, it's not what we would call frequent. Excuse me, I'm battling a cold.